Hi friends, it's me Claudia, and I'm driving and having inspiration for wanting to feel brave enough to share my thoughts on what's been happening in the world and how that relates to what I feel is my role, love, support, soul mission, vision from a higher spirit, whatever you want to call it, really does match timing wise as a way to grow and change in a world that feels so crazy and not safe, or something that I really want to be a part of. And so I think, like most of you, probably myself, the last 2 years have been like a ginormous learning of who am I and how do I see the world around me and how do I want to function in that world and what can I do to be a bridge builder to make a better world. I think we're at a very exciting point in history in our lifetimes where we're getting to witness a fall of how the world has worked our whole lives. And I think we've all been able to look around and be like, this is not the world is not our best work. You know what I mean? We can do a lot better. And I think one of the examples that I wanted to talk about, it's just been so clear to me, is in my beautiful little community. I live in a rural community where it's safe, it's lots of farms, it's people that have been there for 100 years, for generations. It's a home base and it's loved, and it's just a really good place to live and raise a family and build a community. And so I am on Facebook groups, and I'm in a group that's a left group and a group that's a right group in political positions. And it's so funny, I just watch them go back and forth and call each other names. And I'm not trying to call anybody out, or I just wish that we could just step back a minute and look and be like, where's the middle way? How can I allow them to think what they're thinking and support their freedom and sovereignty and personal power to choose what they think's right? And how can we also respect the other group and be like, all right, I don't really agree with that, but I can let you believe that, and it not trigger me into wanting to keep fighting over the silliest things. I mean, when we're at a point where we're supporting a satanic after school club because we want them to have a right to, I don't know, just piss the other side off. It's time to look at how can we do something different, and build a bridge in a middle way for these kids. It was kind of sad to me. My son and I were talking one day, and he's had a friend that he's been friends with his whole school, since kindergarten. And it's a really sweet kid, really nice family. And, and I said, oh, how's so-and-so? And, he's like, oh, she kind of hates me. And I was like, oh my gosh, she kind of hates you. What did you do? And he's like, well, I didn't wear a mask to school the day after they stopped making it mandatory. And I was perceived as Trump's boyfriend and a racist and a horrible person that doesn't believe in facts or science, and that I wanted to kill people. And it's not, it's sort of what it means. And I don't know, it just made me feel really sad. This isn't the way that we want to build our little space and press, we live in such a beautiful place in the world. We're so lucky to have all the things that we do and all the resources that we do. The good people, hardworking farm people that genuinely do want to make a better world. And I truly believe that we can, we will, and I think that's why we're all here right now. So it's like, have we learned enough? Like, can we all start kind of working and finding a middle way that we can start building bridges for our kids? I mean, maybe it's not me and you that gets to be at the final beautiful place where we've reformed systems and taken them down, and we've built new ones, and we've formed more communities, and we've learned to be more self-sufficient, and we learn how to really take care of ourselves instead of trying to find our safety in these systems that don't care anything about us. Like, when's the last time they've ever done anything nice for us that we could all be like, yeah, all right, this feels like the American dream. I'm proud of us. I want us to be proud of us, and it's not going to happen the way that it's happening right now. And so it's like, okay, I know all this. I know where I stand on this now. I know when I go to bed and when I pray and I spend my time outside, that I know what feels good and right to me. And I know how my heart feels like it could be a part of that, and a part of, repairing bridges for kids that don't know any better. They're learning and seeing the world through us and how we react and what triggers us and how we respond. And so my dream and how I see myself being able to build bridges is to really build a community. And it's really all I want, but it's such a big word, and it's so scary at times. Like, oh, but everyone's so mean and fighting and draining and blah. Like, where are the fixers? Where are the helpers? Where are the people that do want to be and start to learn how to be with people in these new bodies that we're in? 2 years later, like, none of us are the same people that we were when this started. And so I don't know if you're feeling like I'm feeling. It's, how do I form real connection with people? How do I stay connected to the land? How do I learn, new ways of co-creating a new earth with the resources that we have around us? And so that's my dream, is, turning the farm that I got blessed to be a land steward of, to help be a training ground where we do things that are fun, that bring joy, that are helpful, and provide for us and teach us new skills that not too far, like our grandparents' generation knew how to do all this stuff as a part of daily living, and we don't know how to do a lot of it. Myself included. Jesus, I feel like I don't know anything. I'm like, how am I even going to help build a community with these people? And I feel like I'm just like such a student too. And I think that's where we can learn to be vulnerable with each other and know, like, I don't have all the answers. I don't even want to pretend to, but I'm really open to meeting other people and watching how they do it, learning from them, trying at that time, working as a group, being vulnerable enough to not be experts in everything, and like learn together and start. It's that easy. I think right now we should do everything we can to improve the vibration of ourselves. And I think that we do that through loving ourselves, loving the land that we're blessed to live on, loving our neighbors, and trying to just leave the world a better place than what we came, what we started with. And so I hope that other people can feel this, and that maybe you're looking for something and you're wanting a better world, and that's where you want to put your energy. You don't want to keep putting energy in a really broken old, I call it the musty crusties. I'm like, oh geez, what the musty crusties come up with today. And they live all over. There's not one side that's mustier or crustier than the other. Oh, all right. Well, I'm scared to death. I made my first video. I can't believe I did it. I just really think it's so important that we start to show people there's a middle ground. I'm one of them. I hope I find other middle grounders who want to make a better world and can try to get there. whatever that looks for you. But I'm really hoping that Big Oak can be a part of that spinning wheel of creation, and that while we learn to build new gardens together and learn how to collect water, learn how to have fun and community with each other, that we get to have fun and make a new world while we're doing it. All right, well, thank you for listening, and I love you all. All right, bye.